Hey guys, Boston Ramos, and today we're going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills, Week 17 of the 2020 season. It is officially 2021, and the game is going to be tomorrow, January 3rd. And this is all it is for the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins win, they are in the playoffs for 100%. If they lose, a bunch of scenarios need to happen. They need a Baltimore loss, a Cleveland loss, an Indianapolis loss. Those are the scenarios if the Dolphins lose. These are some of the teams that the Dolphins need to lose for them to get in. And if not, Dolphins need a tie, and then they need Baltimore to tie, Cleveland to tie, Indianapolis to tie. And if they tie, they also need Tennessee to lose. So it's just a bunch of scenarios. Simplest one, Dolphins win. They are in. And, let's talk about the game, though. Dolphins, 30.1% chance of winning, ESPN matchup predictor, and then the Bills 69.7%, a tie at 0.2. The betting odds is +3 for the Dolphins, -3 for Buffalo, +140 for the Dolphins, -160 for the Bills. Over unders at 42. Probably would go for the under on this one. And so there are some people who are in, some who are out. Landon Roberts got placed on injured reserve on December 31st. According to yesterday's practice, Shaq Lawson, defensive end, questionable. Devontae Parker, wide receiver, questionable. Solomon Kinley, guard, questionable. Jakeem Grant, wide receiver, questionable. And then for the Bills, Reggie Gilman, tight end, he is out. And then Cole Beasley, wide receiver, he is questionable. Most likely won't see them. This is the thing for the Buffalo Bills. They've already clinched the AFC East title. Now, that pretty much secured them a playoff spot 100%. Now, going forward, they could for sure improve their seeding because right now they're a second seed. But if they were to lose and the Steelers win, if I'm not mistaken, then that puts the Steelers at the 2 seed instead of the Bills. So the Bills somewhat still have something to play for. But let's be honest. They already locked up the AFC Championship. So they locked up a for sure playoff spot. They're more than likely going to bench a lot of their guys some point in the game. Not saying that's going to be right away. Not saying they're not going to play at all. Not saying that they're going to get benched in the fourth quarter when they probably have their win secured. Who knows? But at some point in this game, the Bills are going to bench their starters, and it's going to make it a lot easier for the Miami Dolphins. Now, that being said, nothing comes easy in football, especially in the NFL. Now, let's talk about some of the things that the two teams have in common, difference, whatever. Points per game, Dolphins are averaging 25, Bills are averaging 29. Points allowed, Dolphins are allowing 18 points per game, Bills are allowing 23.3. Now, when it comes to total yards offensively, Bills have 402, Dolphins have 344. Yards passing, 236, Miami 293, Bills 107 and 109. 107 is for Miami, 109 is for Buffalo. And then yards allowed, 384 for Miami, 359 for the Bills. Pass yards allowed, 265 for Miami, 236 for Buffalo. Rush yards allowed, 118 for Miami, 122 for the Bills. So, defensively, very similar teams. Bills are averaging less yards passing allowed, and then obviously averaging more passing yards. So, on offense. Past 5 games, the Bills have won all their last 5 games, and the Dolphins have won all of them except for the Kansas City loss. So, these two teams have kind of been at each other's necks for a very long time, and especially now this year as the two front runners for the AFC East. Obviously, the Bills have already secured it, so they are the leading guy. But Dolphins 10-5, Bills 12-3, and like I said earlier, the Bills are still playing for something. Also, Ryan Fitzpatrick is out with COVID-19. Very unfortunate, especially after he led the Dolphins to the win last week with his massive throw and face mask also. But yeah, unfortunately he got COVID. But luckily, so far so good that no one else has tested positive from contact tracing. Now, besides that, this is it all for the Miami Dolphins. Win and you're in, plain and simple. So what do the Dolphins need to do? They need to attack Josh Allen defensively. Get Josh Allen to want to get out of this game as soon as possible and make it a lot easier. Put Matt Barkley in and see what happens then. But if we can get Josh Allen, not knock him out of the game in the sense of injuring him, but if they can get him out of the game by making him feel uncomfortable, or not only that, just performing well, that is just not a good thing for him to be out there, then that's great. Next is limiting Stephon Diggs if he's playing as well. Stephon Diggs needs to be blanketed by Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, probably both at the same time. Last time the Dolphins played the Bills, I believe Xavier Howard wasn't in there, and then Noah Igbenogany was on Stephon Diggs most of the game. So it's just very unfortunate. That's what that happened last time. So this time, obviously, it's not going to be as big of a passing game. It's cold. It's probably going to be snowing. And with that being said, they need to get after Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, whoever's going to be running the ball for the Bills. Get after the running backs. Make sure they don't run that much. And then offensively, number one, first and foremost, protect Tua. He was sacked like 3 times last game. That was kind of the difference maker because when Fitzpatrick came in, he didn't get sacked as much. And that's main in part to due to how Fitzpatrick causes protection. But still, the blocking style needs to be a little bit better for Tua this week, especially this week, because it's a win or go home basically type of game. If the Dolphins don't win, their odds are very, very, very slim of getting in the playoffs. So protect Tua, and then get the playmakers involved. We're not sure if Jakeem Graham and Devontae Parker are gonna play. Mike Gesicki got in for a couple plays last week, and those were big plays. This week it's gonna be a whole huge scenario if whether or not he could come up big, and that'll be huge for the Miami Dolphins. But running game is gonna be big in this game. Cold game, probably snowing, and so we have Myles Gaskin, Savon Ahmed, Matt Breida, Patrick Laird. Whoever wants to run the ball good, just run the ball good, and I think that would bode well for the Miami Dolphins this week, running the ball well. And that's about it for this Week 17 hopeful playoff verge. Miami Dolphins right on the edge. Currently the number 5 seed. After I made the Raiders video last week, they got the 5th seed, and so currently, if they lose and all the teams lose, Dolphins still at the 5th seed. But obviously, if they lose, they'll need Indianapolis and another team to lose probably, and that would work out the best for the Dolphins. So we'll just have to see what happens. But as of right now, basically, win and you're in. That's all that really matters for the Dolphins. Win and you're in. So you bet they're trying their best to win this game. But that's about it. I'll have a post-game review after the game tomorrow, and hope you guys enjoy. So see you later.